All right, we're celebrating today, everyone.
The day of celebration.
And in that era, Heidi and I are both wearing black for the black box warning. Woo!
Woo! Drop it. Drop that black box warning. That's what I
Drop the
say.
warning, everyone. Hopefully you guys know what we're talking about. Like, ladies, you've been hearing about the warning, the black box warning that has been really preventing us women from feeling alive as we're getting older.
Yeah, the black box warning promoted so much fear in women that even when their doctor said, no, 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 it's okay, it was a bad study, and even had that conversation, the fact that it was on there put so much fear into women that they refused life-saving, life-changing, much needed hormone replacement. So this is such a big step for women's health and longevity.
You guys, hormone replacement is here to stay. So if you didn't know what we were talking about, now you do. And if you're new to us, we'll just do a really quick introduction for Heidi and I here because we love women's health and longevity.
Yeah, we absolutely do. I'm Heidi Ratzible. I'm an NP. I'm a naturopath. I was just talking to an MP. I'm a naturopath. I'm also certified in functional medicine. I come into the health and wellness field from an athletic background and wanting to take everything I learned to be a high performing athlete to give it to the masses because everyone should have that vitality and can have that vitality. And really supporting my women friends, and together with Kellie, that became our focus, is to really want to support our women's journey in health and wellness to have a graceful, vital longevity.
Oh my gosh. We live such a large percentage of our life in this quote midlife, right? Like, let's just call it what it is, ladies. And for so long, I know I saw my mom, right? Like, hormones, good, bad, should you not, all the things. And now here we are, years later, still battling people fearful of hormones.
Yeah. Fearful of the very thing that gives us life, that differentiates our strength, our brain, our heart, our vasculature, that does all this, has a hand in all of that working very well and efficiently.
It is the key, you guys. So, if you're not on hormone replacement therapy, it is something that you should talk to your doctor with and really consider. Get your blood work done, get your hormone testing done, know where you are, and then really set a plan. I mean, that's what people need, but know that the warning has finally been dropped.
Yeah. And it's been dropped. And so now speak with your doctor, your healthcare practitioner to ease your way into that conversation and into that change because it's going to be a mindset shift and a mindset change. We were well aware of the benefits of estrogen, and the dangers were really pretty well debunked and pointed out very clearly by some really influential doctors and researchers. Just looking at the study itself was really poorly run. And so we cannot base hormone therapy on that anymore, knowing what we know now. But again, the fear doesn't go away overnight, right? And so really meet yourself where you are, but be honest and be willing to open your mind, talk with your doctor, and really have some deep conversations with why you should not have hormone replacement.
So Heidi and I were talking because one of the things we both promote, again, Heidi was a top level athlete. I just like to work out, but but one of the conversations we had it just in our women's summit, and Heidi and I constantly have it is we we don't need to just work out anymore. We need to have longevity strategies. And the two parts of moving our body, which we do every day, is we need to strength train and we need to move our bodies, right? Through walking and yoga, we've got to have movement. But when we're talking about strength training, what was really fascinating, and it was a big aha for me, is we just think as we're getting older, our strength declines, which would make sense, right? I don't know, we're getting older, so therefore we should get weaker. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Like, huh, maybe not. But what really starts to be the kicker is yes, you might not be doing as much as you did before as you're aging, But the big decline starts happening when estrogen declines. And if estrogen's declining, we need estrogen to make the contraction in our muscles to continue to have strength. So if you don't do any hormone replacement and you just let those hormones decline, by virtue of having less estrogen, you will be have less strength. Without going into the, physiological and biochemistry. And my husband and I were just like, I was like so intrigued. I'm like, Arthur, when the muscle contracts and the actin and myosin bonds, you can't hold that bond as strong when you don't have the estrogen. I'm like, this is incredible. One more real, reason that we need estrogen because we need to keep our strength. That longevity organ of that muscle and pumping the muscle and working hard, ladies, is critical. And if you don't have estrogen, you literally cannot build muscle like we need to.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes it twice as difficult to maintain what muscle you do have.
I mean,
And and so then the risks of falling and having really horrible damage becomes exponentially higher. Yeah, fall risk, breakage risk. It just, there's nothing there to protect our bones with those failing muscles. They are the protector around our skeletal, aren't they?
they are. They are.
And without the estrogen, the bones become more brittle and the muscles aren't there to protect. It's just not a good scenario, is it?
It's not a good scenario. You guys, I'm like so laughing. Heidi and I, Heidi's got people she's managing. I'm trying to manage the dogs. We're like, everybody, shh, what do you need? Hold on. It's just
One
life.
minute.
We like to do this thing called life, and we know that you guys have them too. So I think you're going to get a chuckle and appreciate all of us coming in. We just know that it's so important for her and I to dedicate time and education to you and to our podcast, to the listeners. So thanks for, living life with us.
Yeah, putting up with a little bit of distraction underneath the camera, but you matter. Your estrogen matters, and we needed to talk about it.
Yeah. And Heidi, let's just briefly talk when people are talking hormone replacement therapy and bioidenticals and do I do like a mishmash of my progesterone and estrogen and testosterone all in one? Should they all be different? How do you even do it? What should that kind of look like as women are getting started?
Great question, because there's a lot of theories out there. There's a lot of people that say, oh, come on, let's just give you the whole kit and caboodle, right away. I really am of the mindset, and what I see clinically is, because I can't prescribe hormones, I get to see sort of the aftermath, and I get to be the supporting role in helping them create an environment in their body, good microbiome, so that they can utilize these hormones safely, make sure they go down the right pathway, etc. So that's my role in it. But what I see often for the women who maybe it's not working for, they're saying, I don't feel any different. In fact, I feel worse. When I ask them, okay, what did you start with? Those women that are having the most difficulty started on all three at once: testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone all at once, and maximum dose, right? So these are the people that are having a harder time shifting. So I do recommend maybe starting one at a time. And there is a hierarchy and a reasoning for that. Testosterone should be the last hormone that declines in women at perimenopause and menopause. So it shouldn't be the first thing we augment, although there's some theories that if we augment that first, it'll raise that estrogen and the drop won't feel as bad, especially in the perimenopause. So we're looking at down trickle effect of the testosterone without going too in the weeds. But is it the best plan? I'm not so sure. Right? Talk with your doctor. But I do say, maybe start with that progesterone first. It's the most protective. It's, works or it doesn't, helps you sleep, helps you with anxiety, depression. There's GABAergic development and relationship. So GABA being the feel good, calm neurotransmitter that our brain makes. That it helps with that, right? We can feel happier. We can feel joy when we have GABA hitting. And we sleep better. And this becomes a real problem at that perimenopause or just getting into menopause. So I'd say start with the progesterone first, then make sure you're balanced with that, and then go with the estrogen. And then if need be, go with the testosterone. But there's a lot of ways to augment testosterone by going DHEA, make sure we look at adrenals and make sure everybody's output is efficient. And that's where we target the the um, the augmentation, if you will, or the replacement. And so that's a way I kind of look at it, or what I see clinically that happens with women when they start at one at a time. They do much better, and their bodies, the weight gain is less, it comes off easier, sleep becomes better straight away, and those addressed by going in that order, it really addresses some of the problems that show up as we're moving through the transition.
Oh my God, I love that. And if people were to ask, like, what is the best form for me to take the hormones in?
Again, my preference is going to be the patch because it's a delivery that's consistent and slow. You change it twice a week, pretty easy. um, and it's set, that dose is, you're sure to get that right dose. Whereas the creams, while they are effective, the the dose can be a little off. It can be a little higher, a little lower. And with creams, we're not really sure of the uptake and absorbency, whereas the patch, it's much more consistent. But I have several clients that have the creams. They love it. They don't want to do the patch, or they have a skin sensitivity to the patch. And so they've had to use other forms, and they're doing great with the cream. So usually those are compounded specifically for them. Um, the progesterone, again, some people will use a cream. I like the pill, the Prometrium. It's bioidentical, it's natural, it's the same amount every time because it's pharmaceutical grade. Take it at night, easy peasy. Um, and then the testosterone, there is not currently a very good delivery system for women with testosterone. Pellets seem to be the only one out there, and I love the pellet delivery system. It's not always the best all the time with people, so that's, again, you have to talk with your doc. But the pellet seems to be the only reliable delivery system for testosterone. There's creams, there's injections, but the physiological uptake of those can vary greatly.
Yeah, yeah. And I think in a whole nother, podcast conversation, we'll talk about all the other things that we can do to support
Mm-hmm.
those hormones, to maximize those hormones, to make sure we're utilizing those hormones, and maybe how you can actually boost your testosterone more naturally, potentially as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different ways that are natural with not horrible side effects, and can do that. And I have to say, I didn't think I needed testosterone because I work out, I get muscles, but I do feel a difference when that is on board at some low level.
Yeah, well, one day for me when I'm there, I'm fortunate right now that my testosterone's like flowing still.
That's good, man. I've seen your blood
Let's
work.
go, right? But I think it also has to do with a lot of the other things that I'm doing to support my body to keep it going, right?
Actually, absolutely. And to your credit, Kelly, 80% of our hormones are made in our gut. So if we have leaky gut, if we have infection in there, if we have uh, that visceral fat in interfering, if we have things interfering, or we have a poor microbiome, the production of good, solid, awesome hormones is just not going to happen.
I mean, I would say for every single woman, before you even get on hormones, clean up your gut. And if you currently are on hormones and you're not doing something to make sure your microbiome, your gut health is working optimally, we definitely need to talk. And if you feel like your gut program right now is too complicated, because you're like, sometimes I take digestive enzymes, and sometimes I take this probiotic, and sometimes I'm taking this prebiotic, and sometimes I'm taking these binders, but like it's all over the place. If you feel it's a little complicated, we need to talk because there's new simple science out there that you can get it done in a very easy way to eliminate the complexity of maybe what you've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that really helpful tip. Get your microbiome in order, or your gut in order, before you start your hormones, because throwing possible toxic things, they're not most of the time toxic. We've dropped the, box warning, but we definitely want them to go down the right pathway. And so that is controlled so much by our microbiome and how we naturally detox things. So get that gut clean first and everything flowing right. And then whatever we put in is going to be used with efficacy and wonderfulness all over our body.
So I'll say one thing, ladies. You might not want to hear this, but if you're not pooping regularly daily, your gut is not healthy. Okay?
Yeah,
If you're going back and forth between constipation and diarrhea, or you don't have a nice stool every day, you need gut support. So we have to talk. It is just that critical and that essential. I just had a conversation with a woman yesterday. She's 43. She has a 17-month-old. She really wants one more baby. And her number one thing is, well, I feel pretty good. Like, you don't have any health issues? Well, I kind of have to take prune juice because I really don't poop very often. And I'm like, you got a big health issue. Like, so you feel like feeling okay. That doesn't mean you don't feel okay, but if you're not regularly eliminating, then your body is just not working at all like it needs to. So,
absolutely. Yeah, such a good point, Kelly. I mean, if we saw our toilet not flushing completely, at one or two looks, you think, oh, that's odd. Hmm. But don't wait till it overflows. Do something, right? You wouldn't wait till you have the whole house full of sewage, right? So don't let it overflow. Get some help and make sure you're eliminating regularly and fully, at least once a day, optimally twice.
yes, you guys, you got it. And if anyone's like, yes, help, help, help now, we will put it like in our show notes and everything, some of our recommendations. But these are the kind of topics that Heidi and I also, we're like really getting in the weeds of people in our membership. So if you haven't already joined, join now, join before the holidays. We want to take all of us into this elevated health and empower you guys to get control of your health, optimize your gut. But let's get back to your hormones and make sure they're optimized for you.
For you. Absolutely. But celebrate, do the happy dance. The veil has been lifted and talk to your doctor. Get some hormones, get support. It's vitality.
It's vitality. And I'll just end with thanks everybody out there who helped make this possible, for the scientists, the doctors, the researchers pushing the movement, because it's been a really big deal and a lot of energy and effort has gone into this, ladies. So we thank everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone who did that, because it was a lot of work. You are so right, Kelly.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Until next week, everyone. See you
All
soon.
right. Be well.
Bye.